We have Tenille Townes on Pure Country. Great to see. Look at you.
Oh, thanks.
You look so
fancy.
fancy.
It's fun to dress up and get to come somewhere.
I know. Literally, the last time we saw each other was hanging out socially distanced in a backyard because
it was awesome.
That's the way the world has been. But what's
been.
it like finally getting to be back in Canada and playing music in front of Canadian fans?
It feels so wonderful. I mean, we touched down on the plane yesterday, and I was like, oh, my heart just feels so good. It feels so great to be home, and I'm so excited for this whole weekend and really pumped to be kicking off the tour here in London and carry on our way and get to see everybody in Canada. I'm so pumped.
And headlining tour in Canada, what's that feel like? Because
insane.
I mean, you have been doing this since you were yay high, but
yes, but this is my first headlining tour. I've never done this before, so I'm so pumped I can't even explain it. Truly, I'm like so nervous and so excited and truly mind blown. Like I've been looking at like the ticket like charts, you know, where people can pick their seats and stuff, and I'm like, there are people in these bubbles. Like this is blowing my mind. I'm so grateful everyone's coming.
Yeah, and it's so cool too. I can't even imagine that, you know, you've been on tour with incredible artists, but this time the people that are buying the tickets are coming to see you. And
so surreal.
Has that sunken in yet? Because that is a really cool moment that you should savor.
Thank you for that. I think it's beginning to soak in. Like just being here is helping with that. But I'm definitely going to be journaling like crazy because I don't want to forget what this very first headlining tour feels like. And it really is it's an overwhelming thought to think about. But I'm so excited to kick it off.
And so the new song out right now, which I've seen you posting a lot of stuff about it, and you've said that you were terrified to put this song out.
Definitely was. Still am.
You still are? But I feel like one thing that you've always been so incredible about is you've never been afraid to be honest, and you've not even been afraid to admit that you're afraid that you're being honest, which is an incredible thing. But what's the feedback been like with the new song? Because I feel like it is such a personal kind of a diary entry that you've released.
It is, you know, and the song kind of talks about the dark thoughts that we all, I think, as humans have, the mean things that we tell ourselves, or just like kind of struggling with not feeling good enough, or just sort of feeling low. And I think this past, year and a bit, spending so much time alone and to myself with those kind of vulnerable thoughts that I'm usually pretty good from running from, and it was like, oh, you're forced to sit down and process all of this right now. And it's been so overwhelming getting to see people respond to the song and send messages on Instagram or talk online and being like, I feel this too, and it's made me feel so much less alone in that, and is the greatest gift to think that even just talking about it could be a comfort to somebody listening. So it's really been incredible to get to hear people saying that. It means the world to me.
Your songs are always like that, though, that I feel like you write stuff that you are writing your story, but you don't even realize you're writing someone else's story too, which I think is that's got to be a hard thing to carry sometimes, though. But it's incredible to hear those stories back from fans, but sometimes it's got to be a little overwhelming.
It is sometimes, and it's like, to me, at the core of it, that's what's so beautiful and hard to really put into words about what music is and what it does for all of us. Is it's like, I'll be at a show listening to a song, and it's like, I've got a movie in my head going on about what the song means, and everybody in the place has a different movie going on in their head about what it means. Yeah. But somehow we're connected by that in that moment, and to me, that's the best part about it, is that everybody kind of makes it their own. So
right,
yeah.
Okay, the video that you posted when you were a little tiny girl getting up on stage with Shania Twain. I think I've watched it about 100 times. So cool that, your story started so long ago, and now you're in the position to possibly bring a young girl up on stage and do that for her one day. Has that happened yet, that you've gotten to bring young girls and boys up on stage with you to kind of say, hey, this is something you want to do?
Yes, it has. It's happened at a couple random places. We were playing county fair earlier this year, and there was a little girl with a sign that she made, and
I was you.
I just was like, just keep it together on stage, and was so excited to bring her up. But it was definitely one of those moments where it's like, whoa, this is weird, because that's where I was, and I'll never forget that moment of Shania, reaching out her hand and bringing me up, and it definitely lit a fire in me that's still going. So it's such an honor, and like I can't even process how crazy and beautiful it is to hopefully continue that legacy and keep that circle going.
For sure. Have you seen her a lot since then?
Not a lot. I ran into her once. We were both at this Billboard music event, and she was giving out an award, and I was just freaking out standing in the room being like, I didn't even sneak in here. Like, I was invited to be
I'm supposed
here,
to be
and
in this
so
room.
is Shania, and I'm losing my mind. But a friend of mine brought me over who used to work with her and introduced us, and I was like, I couldn't even get 2 sentences out. I was like, what do you say to somebody who has had such a huge impact in your life? And I had a picture of us from that day on my phone, and I was like, she's like, is that you? I was like, yes, thank you. Like, I don't even know how to tell you this, but that was a really special, full circle, cool moment.
Especially to have it with someone like her who is truly genuine and whatnot. So the fact that she is the person that kind of started the story for you in that big way, she's a great person to have.
She sure is. I'll never forget that.
No. Okay, we're going to talk about Christmas because
okay.
I've been listening to your Christmas EP
thanks.
a lot lately. I love Christmas cards. I like
Thank you.
so much.
Thanks
I feel
for
like,
saying that.
yeah, as soon as November hit, I was like, it's Christmas time, and Tenille has supplied us with Christmas songs. So
That's awesome.
what does Christmas look like for you this year? Are you back in Canada with family?
I am,
Okay,
yeah. So we're getting to do this tour, get to say hi to everybody during the holidays, which will be great. And I think I'm going to fly back to Nashville when we end the tour in Winnipeg, repack the suitcase, and then go back to Grand Prairie and get to spend the holidays with my family this year. So I'm so excited.
And Christmas music, are you somebody that when you're back home with the family, do you shut music out, or are you guys the family that's playing music and listening to music?
Definitely,
Tenille Townes
yes.
Christmas songs.
I mean, probably not my Christmas songs, but
yeah.
But we do. I love Christmas music. It's like the one time the jazz chords are allowed.
They're
which
allowed.
is so fun.
They're encouraged.
They're encouraged. I just grew up always thinking Christmas music was so beautiful, and I love getting to listen to it and sing it. And every now and then, my papa and my dad both play guitar. They kind of picked it up after I left home, and so when I get to go home, we sometimes will get to sit and jam a little bit, which is always fun. So
awesome.
we'll probably do that this Christmas, and otherwise we just kind of listen to it in the background.
Yeah.
Once Boxing Day hits, it's like, okay, I think we're done with the Christmas music
I continue it all the way to January.
You do?
Because my birthday is in January, so I'm like, I'm allowed. I'm in
You're
charge.
allowed. Absolutely you
After
are.
Christmas, I'm in charge of what
Of
happens.
course. I love that.
So you've been to obviously a ton of award shows in your career in the U.S. and Canada, but what is it that's so special about getting to come back to Canada, especially at the end of the year? It's kind of like a big Canadian family reunion and get to celebrate with everyone here.
I mean, I think this one in particular feels really special because it's been so long since we've all been together in person to be able to kind of come and do this. And it's like even just riding in the elevator on the way here, so wonderful to say hi to friends that you haven't seen in so long and and celebrate everybody's music. You know, I think that, man, we've all been through so much in this last little while, but I do think that music has been something that's helped all of us through and kind of still found a way to bring us together. And I think it's really cool to get to celebrate that this year. So it feels so good to be home. I love CCMAs. I've always loved them. I think I came to my first one maybe 12 or 13 years ago.
And now look at you.
I know, it's crazy to think. It really is. It feels surreal to be back. So I'm pumped to be here.
I'm glad you're here too. And it's so good to have
you.
You too. Always a pleasure. Tenille Townes on Pure Country.